The next show I'm going to be talking about is Gene the Guardian, Silver Guardian.
Yes, Silver Guardian. So remember that love-hate relationship thing I was talking about earlier? So, yeah.
Still going on?
Whereas with Dungeon, like my love-hate relationship, I have like a 80 to 85% love, and then the rest is hate. Yeah, that might be kind of like almost reverse in that role. Is that a thing? I don't know. I feel like a parent. And I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I feel like there could have been so much more involved in this. I think the format that they tried to do this in is what killed them.
Oh, okay.
They this whole, we're gonna give you the bite-sized episodes. Okay, I get that format for like slice of life shows, because it's a situation. You'll have a little situation. You'll do the slice of life. Haha, funny. Something happens. We all can relate to it, and then that's the end of the show, right? This is a full-blown like anime. There's like details in the world. There are things going on, and none of them. I have to like sit here half the time. Like, I have a pretty good recollection of like from episode to episode, even though we're going like week to week, and sometimes I'll even skip a week. I still have a fairly good recollection about what is going on, so that way we can immediately pick back up and be like, okay, yeah, no, absolutely, this is sure, why not? Yeah, absolutely. Half the time I was watching this, I had to go back and be like, wait, where did we go from here to here? How did that happen? And where was the in between? I feel like they literally had full episodes, and somebody just came through with a pair of scissors and was like, nope, cutting this part, cutting this part, cutting that. Yep, split it. Here you go.
You don't need to explain this. They know, please.
You don't need to know where we came from here and why we're doing this. Let's just here.
I'm bored. I'm cutting this out.
That literally feels like what happened, which is why I'm disappointed. I'm like, there are things going on here, and I know it is, because y'all have to have the script, and y'all have to be reading this and kind of have a recollection about what's going on, but I have no idea. Me as the watcher, I'm looking at it going, sure, let's just keep rolling with this. Did I miss a season, an episode? Was there something else going on? Did I fall asleep or something? I don't know, but so at the end of this season, if they even do any more seasons, I still have no idea how and why he was doing the powers that he was doing on the first episode and the explanation for that. I have a small inkling as far as where that pyramid came from and what it's referencing to and whatnot. But as far as anything else involved in that, why there was a horde of monsters coming at him in the very beginning of the first episode, I have no clue. We're done with the season. I have no clue. Where he's going or what he's doing, like the only thing I know for sure, is he is trying to save the girl. That's it. That's all I know. And the fact that at one point there was an arena battle that was inside the game that they were in, and he's just there. I don't know why. I don't know why he was there, because nothing really came of it. Nothing really happened. I mean, he won the battle, but why we had to go do that, I have no idea. Maybe they're like, you know what? We're bored. Let's go do an arena battle. That's all I got. I'm like, I'm having a hard time reconciling this. So it's just, it's not bad. It's just disappointing.
Okay.
It's disappointing and confusing, And like at the very beginning, you saw him working as a badass. Like he was pulling off all these moves. He was cutting through swaths of monsters left and right. And we're now on his episode 12. 12 episodes. So 11 episodes from that point to the end. He still fumbles around. He still has no idea what the hell he's doing. So I'm
Okay.
waiting for the fact of when is it that we're going to even start to be good and be doing the things that we showed in the first episode? I have no clue.
So did they lead on that there's going to be another season, or do you think it's just going to keep going into like a double two chorus?
I don't know. It might. It might, but I'm not even sure if I want to continue at this point. It was one of those that I kept looking at going, okay, it's got to get better. You know, that first episode had a lot of like little hints about things going on. I want to know what's going on. I want to know all this and that and the other thing. I have still no clue. 12 episodes in, I'm still clueless. I don't know if I want to continue it anymore. I don't know if I want to see anymore if they do another season or if it continues into the next season. There are probably way better shows that I can be watching than this.
Wow.
Which is what I'm saying. It seemed like, okay, just like with Clockwork, the world around was rich and like absolutely things going on. There are so many behind the scene things. I mean, like what, 2 or 3 episodes into it, her father gets shot and killed in his office. And I'm like, why? What was going on? What's the organization behind this? I have no clue. I have no clue.
So is it a slow burn where they're like slowly just, we're going to get there eventually, just hold on? Or are they like just, how about this? Shoot somebody. How about a pyramid? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, it kind of feels like I was about to say before, like that's probably a very apt description of it. But before you said that, when you said slow burn, I was like, no, it's kind of like they took the heat element on it and they went high, low, high, low, high, low, nearly off, up to high. Now back to down low. I mean, it's just
Okay.
Magically, the water boils and you have no idea why, because you could only swear it was on for like 10 seconds. That's pretty much where we're at. How did we get to that point? Why was that even a part of that? So I don't know.
Okay. Has this ruined Emon Entertainment for you, or because I know this is the first show that you're actually watching fully from them? Oh, well, actually, I think you said you're gonna wait for Centaur. I think
Is that the one that they're coming out with next?
I can't remember.
If that one is a full-fledged anime where they do full episodes, I will watch it. And I will make my decision about whether or not I like that studio based upon that. Because right now I'm disappointed, but I feel like I'm disappointed because they weren't full episodes. That there was so much more that they could have put into it had they been given ample amount of time that a full episode would be. Like, we have probably only half an episode on each one, so...
Yeah, so you feel like you'd be twice as far in the story by now, and right now they're just kind of trying your patience, and you're like... I don't necessarily know if I would be further along in the story.
I feel like I would have a better understanding of what's going on. Like, it would the pieces would actually all connect to each other, and I'd be like, this happened because of this was going on because of this, these are his motivations for this, and we're good. At this point, I have no clue.
Okay, so as far as the pace of the story, the pace is fine. They're just not explaining anything.
Basically. But see, that's the thing. Because I feel like there are gaps in between, the pacing seems super quick.
Okay.
But I feel like if the gaps got filled, I think the pacing would be more understandable.
Okay.
So, see, that's kind of a trick question, because it's like, is the pacing quick? Yes, it is like super quick. We jumped from she's doing this to all of a sudden the dad dies, to all of a sudden we're inside of a video game, to all of a sudden we're doing a Coliseum battle. And like there was this huge thing on the freeway that in between all that, and she got kidnapped, and I don't even know where she's at right now. But hey, we're inside a video game for some reason, you know. And it's just like, yeah, and even the way they get inside the video game, I'm not even sure how that happens. I'm not even sure. He literally has a phone, something like this, basically. Something like that allows him to be inside of a video game.
Okay.
Reason why? How did that happen? I have no clue.
Okay.
You know, maybe there's an explanation for it, but like there's so many, like for every question that gets answered, 20 bazillion more spring up. But we forget about those 20 bazillion more, and we follow on one other question. And then that's it. And it's like, wait, how, why, where, what? So, yes, if they're the ones doing Centaur for next season, I would hold my judgment until I've watched at least that one. But if it's another short one...
I think it's regular episodes.
Okay, but if it's another short one, I'm just saying, I'm done with them. I'm done with them. But if it's a long one, I will. If it's a regular episodes, I will watch it, and then I will make my judgment then about it. Because I feel like they just didn't have enough time. They got gypped on it for some reason or whether, I don't know. They could have done better, but maybe just because of limitations, they didn't get to that. So hopefully something better happens.
Okay. Well, as far as the format, I usually don't mind short shows if they give me enough to where I'm like, oh, it's over? Okay. Let's go on to the next episode. The first show that I watched from them, I can't remember what it's called now, but
You're having my memory loss.
Yeah, the story sounded cool, and the image, the promotional picture was cool. But key visual, there you go. Key visual was cool. But I also had the same issue that you had. Even though it's full episodes, I'm like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Somebody explain something. So I'm very curious to see what this Centaur show is going to be like. Because if they go on in this show and don't explain things, then I know that this studio does not like to explain things. So
I don't know. It seems like okay. Again, if the new one that they're coming out with, Centaur, yes, it has mythical creatures in it, but I think you can get away with not necessarily explaining. Because I mean, you can just kind of have that understanding. Like, okay, monsters exist. Done. If monsters exist in the real world, because you already have a basis for that being like, okay, it's set in the real world. This is our world. It's set in. The only difference is monsters exist. Okay, cool. I can roll with you on that. I can be a part of that. But like for this one, we have a video game world. I have no idea what the rules, regulations, what goes on, why people are doing this, the fact that there's supposedly real money involved and people are like I mean, there is a whole bunch of like stipulations where I'm looking at going, why? What was the point? Why would we do that? Why is this happening? Why did we do that? All right, whatever. So, I don't know. I'm hopeful.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like I was saying for the Centaur one, just like with interviews with Monster Girls, like even though I haven't watched all of that show, I have a really nice bar for this Centaur show to live up to. So I'm like, it's going to be tough for this series
depends upon which direction it goes.
Yeah.
If it goes in a similar direction for interviews, then that'll be what I'll be comparing it to. And that'll be the standard that I hold it up to, because that was an amazing show.
Yeah, so I feel bad for the series because I'm like, you don't explain to me, you don't explain to you, and now it's like you got a bar now.
Yeah, well, and I mean, but see, if they go in the direction of
Monster Musume.
Yeah, if they go in the direction of that was a decent show. Don't get me wrong, but that's a totally different way of going. So I would not hold it to the same standards as Interview with Monster Girls. I would hold it to Monster Musume's standard of like, all right, did you make me laugh? Was it funny? Did we have awkward situations where we're just sitting here doing face palms all the time? Okay, you did a decent job. Cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll see.
All right. Other than the brother and sister thing, I think if they weren't related weirdly like that, I think it would be a really cool romance, because
this is the epitome of fantasy.
Yeah,
you got the magic, you got the giant monsters, you got sword fights, and it's like, this is awesome, love it.